Hello, all my friends, hello. Hello, all my friends, hello. I'm feeling real silly, so let's start the show. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Do 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 da bow do bow. Booty bow bow boom. I'm really good at guitar sounds. Strummity strum 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 strum. Awesome. Guitar.
Have you ever heard a guitar play before?
I've heard the guitar played before. I had a guitar. I was really good at playing it too. I was awesome. Had a little thing on the side. It was a Snoopy guitar. I went.
I remember those. I don't think we had one, but I think we knew somebody who
Somebody, yeah, the guitar, a Snoopy guitar. Hey everybody, welcome to Tazzy Reads Stuff, and Miss Christie makes fun of Tazzy. That's the new show. It's called that. Miss Christie's here. Say hi, Miss Christie.
I wasn't making fun of you.
Say hi, Miss Christie.
I wasn't making fun of you.
Okay, I know. Say hi, Miss Christie.
Oh.
Hey, Miss Christie's here. She was totally making fun of me. She goes, "Oh, is that how it sounds? Have you ever?"
I was curious.
You weren't curious. Curious to be like, "Oh, where did you learn those awesome guitar sounds?" You're like, "Have you ever heard a guitar before? Because that doesn't sound like a guitar that I've heard before." That's the way it is. Mr. Justin, it was pleasure playing bingo with you tonight again. I was only about 20 numbers away from winning the jackpot, which was pretty good. Justin was calling the numbers out to us. So what we do is our family and the Candy family, we play bingo, and we will set up the FaceTime call, and Justin will read the numbers out to us, and then I go. Miss Christie's like boop 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 boop, and I'm like boop, because I didn't have very many numbers.
And you also only ever play one card, where you have me play two cards.
That's right. So you play two cards. That's
it
right.
Always looks like I'm dabbing more often.
You are dabbing more often because you have more. You had lots more. Today there was 3 numbers in a row where I was like, I guess I could just doze off here for a couple. Well, you know what happened? I did a fake yawn. I gave myself a real yawn, and now I have tears, and that's because I can't have a puppy. But anyway, we should go on and read a book. Miss Christie's here. Let's hear if she's here. No puppy. Yep, she's here. No puppies. Miss Shelley, Josh's mom, gave me some books to read, and these are the Story of Courage, and these are the 7 teachings, part of the 7 teaching series. So we'll read this book in a minute or two. But I hope you had a great day. I was outside today. It was a beautiful day. Lots of sunshine. It was lovely out. And I went and visited a couple of places that I needed to visit, and visited a friend, social distance for a few minutes. It was nice to see, nice to see friends and stuff. And Weebeast has been out. Weebeast is out of quarantine. It's almost like being grounded. We let him out of quarantine. No, he tested negative, and then he finished his quarantine, and he was out today. He has been out. He's been out biking since about 11 o'clock this morning. Hey, he just checked in and said, "Dad, what time do I need to be home?" I said, "Well, just keep me posted where you are, and come home eventually." He made himself a little. I was very proud too, because he made himself a little lunch to take with him and everything. So it was good. So Weebeast was out. Riding his bike on the trails. That's awesome. So, hello, Taz and Miss Christie from Jim. Oh, Jimmy, how are you, Jimmy? Jimmy's saying hello, Taz and Miss Christie. You should probably get Taz at least one puppy, but that's okay.
That's not what it says.
It says that right there. What is that? So what's that word say there then? Right? That
says reply.
Oh, I thought. Okay, never mind. I thought that said please get Tazzy extra puppies.
No, that doesn't.
Evening, Taz. We are full of pork chops and asparagus. Oh yeah. I forgot. I got pork chops. That's Little Yaz and Albert and I walked to Miller's Meats, and I got pork chops, and I forgot to cook them tonight because I had to sleep. But you made sesame chicken.
Correct.
It's different than sesame street chicken. It's brought to you by the letter C, which rhymes with P, and that stands for puppy. Yeah, come home when the street lights are on. That's what I had to do. I used to come home when the street lights are on, and then my parents had moved. Get Taz at least one puppy. Says that right there now. You know
Jim,
what they
you're
say?
not helping.
You're helping tons.
No,
Don't
you're
listen
not.
to Miss. That's funny. You know what they say? Asking ye shall receive.
No,
Anyways,
puppy.
let's read. Did you fart? That's what I heard. There you go. First date. A book of courage. Here's a story about first date. I think these words are going to be. Oh, I could read them without my glasses, so that's pretty good. This is written by Katherena Vermette, and it is illustrated by Irene Kuziw. That's who. Can you see those names? I get them wrong, and I don't mean to. But if you're my friends, I probably get them wrong anyway. Makwa has to go to a new school. He doesn't want to. He holds on to his mama. You're going to be fine, she tells him. Makwa doesn't feel fine. He feels scared. I feel scared. Still feel scared going into, not scared, but a little uneasy going into new situations, right?
Yeah. Me
Barb
too.
says puppies are awesome. Yes, Barb sent us pictures of her puppies. Did I show you those pictures?
Yes, I believe you did.
No, that was the puppies. This is did I show you the rescue dog? I showed you Barb's rescue dog.
Yeah.
She's laying on the couch going, labo.
Was it singing? I
Yes.
don't think you could tell that from a picture.
You can tell it from the picture. You have to look in the eyes. Like when somebody looks at your angry picture, it's like that. They know in your eyes. It's dangerous. Like right now. I like your hair, Miss Christie. Oh, that's awesome.
Thank you, Justin.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's pink. It's faded a little bit, eh?
Yes.
A little bit. It's nice. The school is so big. It was dark brick walls and a huge door. Makwa, can barely pull it open. The hallways are long and dark and filled with big kids he doesn't know. And the teachers are tall and strange. Look tall and strange. Puppies are awesome, Barb. I'll never know. You're going to be okay, his mama says. Makwa doesn't feel okay. He feels scared. He doesn't let go of his mama. He doesn't want to. Nick got growled at for not being forthcoming with belly rubs.
Like a dog with sass.
Yeah, it's not like, excuse
Sure that dog is not a cat?
Yeah, no, because the cat cares, or the cat doesn't care. Dogs a man's best friend, and a cat's just a pet you get when you can't have a dog.
Cats tend to be demanding like that.
Oh yeah, our cats will just come and walk along and lay down in front of you. They don't care. They want pet me now, plop. They don't know the difference between pet and me tripping on them. She kneels down and looks him straight in the eye. Remember when we moved to the city? She asks. Makwa nods. And the buildings were so tall and the streets were noisy and all the kids were strangers? Makwa nods and nods. Well, now the buildings are normal sized, and those kids are your friends, right? She asks. The streets are still noisy, Makwa whispers. Yes, they are, Mama smiles. But after a while, you felt better about being there, right? Makwa nods, but does not let go. So she tries again. Remember when your sister was born and I had to go to the hospital? Makwa nods. And you couldn't sleep because you were worried? And Dad forgot to turn the light on, Makwa adds. Yes, he did. What did you do? I asked him to turn it on? You did. And everything was okay, right? And Makwa nods. See, she says, it's just like that. You have to be brave. And you can always ask for what you need, and you'll feel better soon. Just wait. Makwa starts to cry. But I'm scared, he says. It's okay, my boy, Mama tells him. Being scared is a big part of being brave. She gives him a tissue and waits until he's ready. Then Mama walks him into class. She introduces him to the teacher. He is tall and strange and talks in a big, loud voice. He says, "My name is Mr. B," and he smiles. Makwa feels a little bit better. He goes into class. It's filled with a whole bunch of kids he doesn't know. They sit in a circle and Mr. B calls out their names, one by one. Some of the kids smile at Makwa. He feels a little bit better. A smile is so inviting, right?
It is.
Then the whole class goes outside, and a boy runs up to Makwa. "My name is Miss Abi. This is Amek," he says. "Hi," Makwa says. "Want to play tag?" Amek asks, and Makwa nods.
Smile is one of the first things humans learn to communicate.
Yep.
And some other animals actually communicate like with smiles as well. I've seen dogs who mimic smiles or smile.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's other animals
I'm sure there is
who do
too.
it as well.
A dolphin always looks like he's smiling.
Yeah.
And what do we do there? It was an end. Do you want to play tag? Ahmed asks. Makwa nods. And he feels almost all the way better. Well, almost. See, he didn't feel 100% not nervous, but he felt way better. And then that's what it is. You have to. I like that line. What is that? What is the line there, Miss Christie? What did Mama say? But I'm scared, he said. That's okay, my boy, Mama tells him. Being scared is part of being brave, and that's true too. You have to. You have to. You know. It's hard. I mean, every time that I've been scared to do a show, and scared's not the right word. Anxious is a little bit anxious, or if I get nervous to do a show or something like that, it just means that you care about the outcome of the situation, right? You care. On the times where you're not scared and it doesn't matter, then you don't really care about the outcome of the situation, or you know it's going to be okay, right? And it's okay to be scared. And what do we do when we're scared? Well, we tell people, right? We feel that feeling. That's our feeling, and it's important to have our feelings. All of our feelings are important. And if you're feeling scared, and scared is one of those feelings that if you share, it gets better usually, right? If you say, Miss Christie, I'm scared of the dark, and she's, well, what are you scared of? And I don't know. Well, what could be in the dark? And you're like, well, there could be this, and there could be that, and there could be that. And Miss Christie might say, well, what are the chances of being like that? I'll tell you what. How about we see what the world is like in the light? There's nothing to be scared of. We turn off the dark, right? And then every time that you're in the dark that you were scared of before, it feels like it's less and less until it's not scary anymore. Sometimes it just takes a few times to do it, doesn't it? Sometimes it takes a couple tries to do it, and you're still scared a couple of times. I don't know if Yasminka or Justin was like this, but I remember Wee Beast didn't want to go to school at all the first day, and then he didn't want to come home the second day. He was like, do I have to come home already? So that's it.
He's such a social little kid.
He is now, right? I remember, here's a funny story. So Kyler was going down to the daycare, it was down this flight of stairs in the basement of the school, and he went to the daycare, and the first day he did not want to be dropped off, and he was holding onto my leg, and I had to pry his little hands away from my leg, and he was crying, and of course he was crying, and I start crying, and I said, oh, but in my brain, I was like, I was having tears. And on the outside, I was like, oh, it's going to be fine. You're going to be fine. But it was hard to leave for me, too. So I turned away and I started to have tears. And I'm walking up the stairs, and the door flies open. This little girl comes down saying, I'm so excited, Daddy. And then she looks at me crying, and she looks at me and then looks at her dad. I don't want to go here. This man's crying. It's not going to be fun. So whoever that was, sorry. Let's read another book, shall we? What time is it? Do we have time to read it? This looks like it might be a long book. Hey, Miss Gracie, that might be too long. Let's read a book. Let's read a couple stories out of this book. This is a very short book. This is called Frog and Toad Together. And these are Frog and Toad stories. These stories are very, very, they were written a long time ago. And Al Simmons and I have read this book to classes together. I played Frog and he played Toad. Here's a book called A List. One morning, Toad sat in bed. I have so many things to do, he said. I will write them down, all down on a list, so I can remember them. So Toad wrote on a piece of paper a list of things to do today. Then he wrote, wake up. Oh, I've done that, says Toad, and he crossed it out.
That was a good mimic of that noise.
Yeah. Then Toad wrote other things on the paper. A list of things to do today. Wake up, crossed out, eat breakfast, get dressed, go to Froggy's house, take a walk with Frog, eat lunch, take a nap, play games with Frog, eat supper, and go to sleep. There, said Toad. Now my day is all written down, and I'll get out of bed and then he got out of bed and had something to eat, and he crossed out, eat breakfast. Toad took his clothes out of the closet and put them on. He crossed out, get dressed. Toad put the list in his pocket. He opened the door and walked into the morning. Soon Toad was at Frog's front door. He took the list out of his pocket and crossed out, go to Frog's house.
It's a very specific list.
A very specific list.
Sometimes you have to do that, though.
Blink. Toad knocked on the door. Hello, said Frog. Look at my list of things to do, said Toad. Oh, said Frog, that's very nice. Toad said, it tells me the things I need to, tells me things. I'll back up. And here we go. Oh, said Frog, that's very nice. Toad said, my list tells me where we will go for a walk. All right, said Frog, I'm ready. Good night, Jim. And thank you. I like my sound effects too. Ew, ew, ew. There's echo in here. Hey, puppy, uppy, uppy. Puppy, uppy, uppy. I'm not gonna get a puppy, uppy, uppy. I'm getting a puppy, uppy, uppy, uppy.
No puppy.
No echo? I think maybe Miss Christie's not playing. Frog and Toad went for a long walk, and Toad took out the list from his pocket again and crossed out, take walk with Frog. Then there was a strong wind, and it blew the list out of Toad's hand, and the list blew high up into the air. Help! Cried Toad. My list is blowing away, and I will not... What will I do without my list? Well, I guess you'll walk straight. Right? Because the list can always mean, like that, you're a little listed to the one side. Hurry, said Frog. We'll run and catch it. No, shouted Toad. I cannot do that. Why not? Said Frog. Because, Toad said, running after my list is not one of the things that I wrote on my list of things to do. Frog ran after the list. He ran over hills and swamps, but the list blew on and on. At last, Frog came back to Toad. I'm so sorry. gasped Frog, but I could not catch your list. Blah, said Toad.
Oh, what's he gonna do?
He's gonna hop to it. I cannot remember any of the things that were on my list of things to do. I will just have to sit here and do nothing, said Toad. Toad sat and did nothing. Frog sat with him. After a long time, Frog said, Toad, it's getting dark. We should get to sleep now. Go to sleep, shouted Toad. That was the last thing on my list. So Toad, I keep saying Todd.
Just call him Todd.
Todd the Toad wrote on the ground with a stick, go to sleep, and they crossed it out. There, said Toad. Now my day is all crossed out. I'm glad, said Frog, and Frog and Toad went right to sleep. That's a silly story. There's more in here. But that's 2 for tonight. There you go. Boo-da-boo-da-boo. You were looking at the time? Do we have time for one more, maybe?
It's 7:53. You could probably do another short one.
Okay. This one's called The Garden. Frog was in his garden, and Toad came walking by. What a fine garden you have, Frog, he said. Yes, said Frog. Very nice. In a voice that wasn't the same voice as before, because I think this is a better voice than for Frog. It's very nice. But it's hard work, ain't it? I wish I had a garden, said Toad in a different voice too, because the narrator couldn't remember the voice that he had from before. Here are some flower seeds. Plant them in the ground, said Frog. There's going to be a whole bunch of different voices in here. And soon you'll have a garden. How soon? Asked Toad. Quite soon, said Frog. This is what happens when you're a professional narrator and you get stuff done like that. There, this is going to be Frog's voice from now on. That'll be Frog's voice. There you go. Good night, Barb. Toad ran home. The voice you're hearing now is that of the narrator. He planted the flower seeds. Now, seeds, said Frog, start growing. No, said Toad, start growing. Oh my gosh, I'm getting mixed up. Toad walked up and down a few times. The seeds did not start to grow. Toad put his head close to the ground and said loudly, Now, seeds, start growing. And Toad looked at the ground again, and the seeds did not start to grow.
I've never tried that technique in the garden. I usually just water them and walk away.
Well, my uncle had a chicken farm one time, and he bought 60 chickens. And then the next time I saw him at the feed store, he was buying another 60 chickens. I said, what's going on? That's going to be a lot of chickens. He goes, no, I'm having a chicken farm. He said, and I don't know if I'm planting them too deep or too far apart, he says. Toad put his head very close to the ground and shouted, Now, seeds, start growing. Frog came up the path. What's all the noise? He asked. My seeds will not grow, said Toad. You're shouting too much, said Frog. Those poor seeds are afraid to grow. My seeds are afraid to grow, said Toad. Of course, said Frog. Leave them alone for a few days. Let the sun shine on them. Let the rain fall on them. Soon your seeds will grow. Miss Chrissy's happy that I got the voices right for once. That night, Toad looked out his window. Drat, said Toad. My seeds have not started to grow. They must be afraid of the dark. So Toad went out into a garden and lit some candles. I'll read them a story, said Toad. They'll not be afraid. And Toad read a very long story to his seeds. It was called Grapes of Wrath.
You know, they do say that talking to your plants is helpful for them.
It depends what you say.
It can.
Yeah, you go up behind them with a pair of scissors, grow around, right? They'd be like, ah!
They also have done some studies to see how they respond to music.
Music. I know they do music therapy for plants. That's why Robert Plant. He's a singer. That was pretty good. The Cranberries. All the next day, Toad sang songs to his seeds. Did they hear Miss Christie? All the next day, Toad sang songs to his seeds. And the next day, Toad read poems to his seeds. And then the next day he played music to his seeds. Toad looked at the ground. The seeds still did not grow. "What shall I do?" cried Toad. "There must be the most frightened seeds in the whole world." Then Toad felt tired, and he fell asleep. 'Cause he was totally tired. Totally tired. That's a good joke right there.
Since Barb might already be gone, I'm going to groan for her.
Okay.
Groan!
Toad, wake up, said Frog. "Look at your garden." Toad looked at his garden. Little green plants were coming up out of the ground. "At last," shouted Toad, "my seeds have stopped being afraid to grow." "Now you'll have to have a nice garden, too," said Frog. "Yes," said Toad. "But you're right, Frog. It's very hard work."
Hard work. A little bit.
There you go.
But, you know, you get some good stuff out of it. Fresh tomatoes.
That's
Nothing
right.
like tomatoes from the garden.
Oh, no. And then you get the bacon from the garden and the bread from the tree, and you put together, and you got a BLT sandwich.
You don't get bacon from trees. Or the garden. You don't get bread from trees.
Yes, you get bread from a bread tree.
No.
Yes?
There's a type of fruit called the breadfruit, but that's not bread.
Oh.
Maybe it's not even fruit.
Where did they pick? I'm not sure either. I'm being silly. So there you go. 3 little stories to read. One about being brave, and one about making lists, and the other one about planting seeds. So there you go. It's good. It's a good day when you can get 3 stories in. We probably could have got 4, but Miss Christie was talking. Means that was wrong. It was me talking all the time. Oh my gosh. Well, have yourself a great rest of the weekend. Enjoy your day tomorrow. Tomorrow is Sunday day. It's a family day, so I'll be spending it there. And I will be back on, before I forget, let me just see in my, because I've made a list too, you know. 7 o'clock Sunday I read. Oh, 7 o'clock in the morning. I have got a show Monday. So I'll be here Monday night. And Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week, it looks like. So there you go. Ta-da! I will see you Monday. Please try to make sure that you share your emotions, especially if the emotions are sort of trapped inside of you and you are having a little freak out. You share them with your forever people. And a forever person is somebody that you love and trust and you know can help you and that will listen. That's important. So do that. And also be a good forever person to somebody else. That's very important to know. Miss Christie's my forever person, and I'm one of her forever people as well. And you can have a few more than just one, that's for sure. Right? Just like you can have more than one best friend. That's it. You can have more than one puppy, too.
They can.
Yes, they can.
No.
I was hiding this from you.
I can still see you.
Okay.
I can still see you.
Good night, Facebook friends. Good night. Good night, Facebook friends. Good night. May your dreams be cheery and your dreams be bright. Good night, Facebook friends. Good night. Sleep tight, Facebook friends. Sleep tight. Sleep tight, Facebook friends. Sleep tight. May your dreams be so silly till the morning light. Good night, all my friends. Good night. Yes, time to brush your teeth, probably. Justin, lots of love to you and Yaz and everybody else from myself and Miss Christie, and I will talk to you on Monday. Unless you're watching this on YouTube, then you can just click on another one and I'll see you right away. And by then, I'll probably have a puppy.
No.
She said maybe.